Can these sightings be explained?
It's my conclusion that we're looking at some kind of spacecraft.
People see things at the limits of their visions and fill in the rest of the details from their imaginations and from their fears.
Is there now evidence of advanced extraterrestrial life?
Billions of planetary creatures have left their planet, and they're visiting other solar systems.
I am very certain of our visitation by external species.
Incredible official footage.
One thing we can say about this NASA footage is it's unimpeachable.
The greatest missions of all time. We reveal NASA's strangest encounters in space. February 20th, 1962. John Glenn prepares for a historic mission. He'll be the first American to orbit Earth.
Glenn prepares to go to the 11th deck as clocks point to 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
NASA deliberately picked a World War II hero known for performing under extreme pressure. At 11:03 a.m., Glenn steps onto the rocket platform.
The seconds tick off as his rendezvous with space approaches.
I'm sure John Glenn had some butterflies in his stomach while he was sitting on the launch pad waiting to launch on Friendship 7.
Affirmative, ma'am.
The Atlas booster rocket hadn't had a very successful gestation period. There had been some very violent accidents with it.
In spite of this, Glenn is ready to put his life on the line.
Godspeed, John Glenn. Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Just 5 minutes after launch, Glenn reaches orbit.
Oh, that view is tremendous.
But then Glenn witnesses something totally unexpected. Hazy, darting lights surround his capsule. A mass of them envelop the craft.
I never saw anything like it. They're coming by the capsule, and they look like little stars, a whole shower of them coming by. They swirl around the capsule and go in front of the window, and they're all brilliantly lighted.
John Glenn saw some small objects out his window of his spacecraft, and he called them the Fireflies. He never figured out what they were, and neither did anyone else.
After the stress of such a dangerous launch, could Glenn have imagined these so-called fireflies? Space historian James Oberg thinks this is unlikely.
The early astronauts, the main thing they were able to do was to think straight when under pressure. They wouldn't freeze up, they wouldn't panic. They had a special kind of attitude toward getting through danger.
So if he wasn't imagining them, what were they? Fellow astronaut Story Musgrave has witnessed something similar and thinks they are particles of ice.
They have thousands of pieces of ice, and it's gorgeously beautiful. It gets even more beautiful when they get further out because they're rotating. Now they're fireflies, and they turn on and off.
Today, most experts agree with Musgrave's explanation. But Glenn was at the dawn of a new era of human exploration, where every launch was a journey into the unknown. Looking for signs of alien life may seem strange, but most scientists today believe it is highly likely that life does exist elsewhere in the universe.
There must be, because we're finding more and more planets. 1,500 planets now just recently. So to think that no life has evolved on those planets, that we're all alone in the universe, just is almost preposterous. It's like going back to thinking that the Earth is the center of the universe.
We found life living in all sorts of environments here on Earth. We're even beginning to find planets that are sort of like the Earth. So all these signs, all these arrows are pointing in the same direction, namely that there probably is life out there.
Some astronomers believe our own galaxy, the Milky Way, contains billions of potentially habitable planets. and this is only a tiny fraction of the known universe.
One photograph, one of the deep fields of Hubble, is roughly 300 trillion stars. That's a big number. That's only one deep field. Even where we said we'll aim it where there's nothing, well, it turns out another 1,000, 2,000 galaxies.
Many believe that these literally astronomical numbers mean the existence of alien life is a near certainty.
The number of planets in the part of the universe we can see is roughly comparable to the number of grains of sand on all the beaches of the Earth. Well, the bottom line is very simple. With such enormous amount of cosmic real estate, it seems so improbable that we could be alone.
June 3rd, 1965. Aboard Gemini 4, astronaut Ed White begins America's first spacewalk.
Okay, I'm out.
Command pilot James McDivitt watches from inside the capsule.
I feel like $1 million.
The next day, Ed White sleeps while Gemini passes over the Pacific Ocean. Suddenly, McDivitt notices an object outside their craft. An official communication log records McDivitt's conversation with Houston. Back on Earth, NASA and NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, attempt to identify the sighting. The closest man-made object they locate is 1,200 miles away. Nick Pope was an official UFO investigator for the British Ministry of Defense. He has studied thousands of sightings dating back over 50 years.
There was a discrepancy between what James McDivitt saw and reported and what NORAD was suggesting that he had actually seen.
Some observers believe that the object was part of the Gemini craft. McDivitt disagrees.
McDivitt now still says it was not his own booster. He said he saw it, and he says it was not.
Journalists speculate that McDivitt saw a secret spy satellite.
We know at the time, in the mid-60s, that there were satellites being launched that were not announced. And it's reasonable to suspect that someone might launch a satellite and make it stealthy. So you never could be sure what was out there.
But NASA confirmed no secret satellites were in the area. On June 7th, the Gemini capsule lands in the Atlantic Ocean. Officials remove McDivitt's film from the craft, and it takes 4 days to process the images. And when they are released, McDivitt says they are not of the object he witnessed.
I've seen the original flight film. It's pretty clear that he did not capture what it was he was seeing there. But what it could have been was a real mystery.
To this day, it is not known what McDivitt saw.
The idea behind this is very simple. You tune over as wide a range of the radio dial as you can, looking for a signal. Finding evidence of another intelligent species would change the future history of our species forever.
Ever wonder if there's more out there? How did you know? Your lunch says it all.
Upgrade your meal with Wendy's new signature sides, like our chili cheese fries or baked sweet potatoes. Sides that make the meal. That's Wendy's way.
Now that's better.
This is an acceptance letter. It's a diploma. It's a passport. It's a compass. It's a trainer and a coach and the jersey of the greatest team on earth. It's more than a uniform. It's an education you can't get anywhere else. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
This program is brought to you in part by Ford. Go further.
Of all the brands of cars being sold in America, one company goes further, Ford. With plug-in hybrids projected to take you over 100 mpge, innovative EcoBoost engines, combining power and efficiency, and technology that opens doors for you and practically parks itself. Ford truly redefines how far a vehicle can go, so you can go further.
Kiwi, soy milk, impulse buy, gift horse, king crab, rhubarb pie, lettuce shower, made by bees, toucan Sam, that's not cheese, grass-fed curry, ginger snaps, soup can tower, 5% cash back. Right now, get 5% cash back at grocery stores. It pays to discover.
Removing facial hair can be irritating. Challenge that. Olay Smooth Finish Facial Hair Removal Duo. First a gentle balm, then a removal cream. Effective together with less irritation and as gentle as a feather. Olay Hair Removal Duo.
What the? Hey, how many fingers you see, Chris? Coast Guard Cutter Sherman, this is the fishing vessel Wizard. Coast Guard Cutter Sherman, Coast Guard Cutter Sherman, this is the fishing vessel Wizard.
Seth Shostak is senior astronomer at SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. He is one of many scientists actively trying to find signs of alien life elsewhere in the universe.
Finding evidence of another intelligent species would change the future history of our species forever.
SETI's radio observatory is based near Lassen National Forest, California.
Yeah, this is a beautiful place. I love coming up here, but it is kind of isolated. But of course, that's why it's here, right? You want to get away from what's called man-made interference.
Day after day, Shostak and his colleagues scour the skies, searching for a signal from space.
The idea behind this is very simple. You point these things in the direction of some nearby star system, preferably one that you know has planets, right? And then you tune over as wide a range of the radio dial as you can, looking for a signal. Because if you pick up a signal, you know they're smart enough to build a radio transmitter.
Each year, scientists discover more and more planets outside of our solar system. And Shostak believes we're on the verge of hearing from one of them.
The technology for finding something doubles in capability every 2 years or so. Personally, I'm very optimistic that we will book success within the next couple of decades.
December 4th, 1965. It's the start of the mission for Frank Borman and Jim Lovell, who will later command the fateful Apollo 13 mission. Under 2 hours into their voyage, the astronauts notice something outside their craft. Official audio recordings from the mission confirm the sighting.
Gemini 7, are you with 98? Lots clear. 7, go ahead. Confirm you at 10 o'clock high.
Jim Lovell, a former Navy pilot, uses the term bogey, a way of describing an enemy aircraft. Borman later claims that the bogey was the craft's own booster. But official transcripts taken during the mission suggest a different interpretation. Officials ask, is that the booster or is that an actual sighting? Lovell responds, we have several, looks like actual sighting. And we also have the booster in sight. Nick Redfern is an author and UFO investigator. He jumped on this discrepancy.
But what was interesting is that there were reports, well, we can see the booster. You know, so clearly the booster couldn't be in 2 places at the same time. There's obviously something else going on.
Nick Pope also doubts that the astronauts could have mistaken the booster for another object.
Astronauts arguably make about the best you can get in terms of their observation, their reliability.
this inevitably raised the question, was it a UFO in the terms of a flying saucer, or was it a UFO in the terms it was just something in the sky that wasn't identified?
Some space experts claim that the bogey was part of a larger cluster of debris, but Pope remains unconvinced.
Now, some people say they were just parts of the booster rocket falling away from the craft. The real answer is, we just don't know.
September 12, 1966. Pete Conrad and Richard Gordon prepare for America's 17th manned space mission. Their first challenge after launch is to dock with another spacecraft.
Roger, you go for docking.
Traveling at 17,000 miles per hour, the astronauts complete the hugely demanding operation on their first attempt.
We are docked. We confirm they're docked. Fine. Roger. Roger. Outstanding.
The following day, the astronauts see something outside Gemini 11 that they cannot identify. A bright object that seems to change shape before their eyes.
The crew noticed something bright coming toward them. They reached for cameras, took some pictures of something going past their windows.
Again, officials try to identify the sighting. They claim that the nearest man-made object is a Russian satellite orbiting 280 miles away. Bruce Maccabee, an optical physicist for the U.S. Navy, investigated the sighting. Given the focal length of the camera used on the craft and the size of the image in the picture, he concluded it could not possibly be the Russian satellite.
I did some basic calculations. The satellite must have been thousands of feet in size.
Maccabee's suspicions were confirmed when he double-checked the tracking data. The satellite, it seemed, was 3,000 miles away from Gemini 11, not 280.
There was a big discrepancy between what the calculation showed and the original identification. This meant that they were not seeing the Proton 3 satellite. What they did see is up for grabs.
For Maccabee, after 40 years of investigation, the encounter remains a mystery.
It becomes what I call a truly unidentified flying object if, after a careful investigation, it still remains unexplained.
I think there are millions or hundreds of millions, possibly billions of planetary creatures that have left their planet, and they're visiting other solar systems.
Welcome to Burger King, honey. Your crispy chicken strips.
Tyler? Can I get an order of those new crispy chicken strips?
Oh, who's that talking?
Steven.
This buffalo, this ranch.
The new crispy chicken strips. Come and get it at Burger King.
Engines are tuned. So are Mobil 1 motor oils. Tuned for blistering performance. Tuned for everyday extremes. And with Mobil 1 Extended Performance, tuned to keep your engine running like new for up to 15,000 miles between oil changes. Mobil 1 Extended Performance, from the motor oil brand designed to keep your engine running like new.
Love auction day. It's like inviting all your friends to a birthday party and they all shut up.
T-Bucket with the American flag motif. Sold, sold, sold. Now give him a big kiss.
All new season of Auction Kings, Wednesdays at 10, only on Discovery.
You bought it.
Get creative with the Nikon D5100 HD SLR.
Thrilling 1080p HD movie.
My beef isn't with you, Lewis.
Sensational effects like selective color in HD movie and stills. And amazing photo quality that packs a Nikon punch.
Okay, cut.